I turn things over to Bill Miller, our principal here at North Middle School, I just want to take a couple of minutes here and go over a couple of things. First of all, just to introduce myself, my name is Steve Sayers, and I'm the superintendent here with the Amherst schools. And basically, I just wanted to do a couple of things. First of all, I want to thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time out of your schedules. I know there's a lot of things going on, probably baseball practices, softball practices. I think we have a concert tonight over at the junior high school. I know it's a very, very busy time of year, and we just appreciate you taking the time to be here. And also want to thank you for making, I guess, this master plan and this new elementary school possible. This is a very exciting time for our school district with the passage of the bond issue in November. Here in 2 years, we will have a new, if everything goes according to schedule, a new pre-K through 3 elementary school, and there's a lot of excitement surrounding that in our schools and community. So again, I want to say thank you, not only for being here, but for your support in making this all possible. The other thing I wanted to do is to take this chance or this opportunity to kind of ask ahead of time for your patience and your help as we work through this transition plan over the next couple of years. We've got a lot of things that have to be taken into account as we work our way through this transition plan over the next 2 years, and we're going to have to, as a school district, we're going to have to adapt and adjust and maybe be a little bit more flexible than what we have had to do here over the last few years, because the routines will be a little bit new. They will be different from what we've been used to. But again, we're looking at some short-term inconveniences, looking at that offsetting or being offset with a long-term plan of having a brand new pre-K through 3 elementary school. But I've talked to several superintendents who have went through building projects, and they all give me very similar advice. They all say, remind everyone, staff, community, parents, everyone, that the most difficult part is the transition plan, and the patience and the flexibility and the adaptability that's required is very, very critical. So again, I just want to ask for your help ahead of time. Our staff, as Mr. Miller is going to go through some of the details this evening here, has worked very hard over the last several months looking at transition plans, looking at it from a staffing standpoint, from a teaching and learning standpoint, from a transportation standpoint, just looking at what we need to do to make the best of this situation over the next couple of years. And we think we've come up with a plan that will work. It's not perfect, it's not ideal, but we think it's the best available plan. And with your help, we can certainly make things go as smooth as possible. So again, thank you. I will be able to stay for a little bit until about 6:45 or so, and then I have another commitment this evening. And so if we're not done by then, I'll have to sneak out. But I know Mr. Miller has some things he wants to go over, and then we want to talk about some transportation things. And certainly the most beneficial thing will be answering any questions you may have. So again, thank you, and Mr. Miller, it's all yours.
Thanks, Mr. Sayers. Thanks again, everyone, for coming. Those of you who don't know me, obviously you just introduced me, but I'm Bill Miller, principal in Dord. I've been here for 6 years now, and this is, like Steve said, this is it's a transition year. So we've been doing a lot of work on this. But again, I just want to thank everybody for showing up. We didn't know how many people were going to come. We didn't know if we get 5 people or 100 people. So I'm really glad to see this turnout. And I originally told Mr. Lowry that I'd stand up here so we could videotape this for to be posted online for those who couldn't make the meeting. But the more I see everybody else sitting away from us, the more I'm just going to kind of come this way a little bit, because you're doing the exact same thing I would do, sit in the back of the room. And coming from an educator, that's not the best thing for an educator to say, but I understand. So I'm going to come to you guys. But anyways, what I did is I want to like everybody to kind of follow along with me for a little bit on the information sheet that I handed out. because I didn't know really where to start with this other than just give you as much information as I can and then get that information to you and let you answer or let you ask questions of us, because I don't know what people are thinking. I'm thinking from the administrative and the school viewpoint. I'm not necessarily thinking from a parent's viewpoint all the time. At least we try to do that. I do have a third grader at home who's moving into fourth grade, so I understand probably the anxiousness some people might have of coming to a new building. And so I come from that viewpoint, but I also, like I said, I'm coming from the school's viewpoint. So again, the question and answer session at the end of this is probably going to be the most important for you. However, I'd like to go over some of this stuff first. If you do have a question as I'm explaining it, feel free to raise your hand and let me know. Otherwise, if I don't see anything, we'll just address questions at the end. Before I start, I'd like to introduce Corey Engel. Corey is going to be our Dean of Students next year. I promised her she wouldn't have any role in tonight's thing because I think she's a little too worried that you're going to know she's dealing with discipline next year. So she's going to be the one that all the stuff's aimed at. But Kathy Dale she's our transportation director. She's here to answer any questions that are transportation related that may come up. I don't know if there will be any, but she is here for that. So again, we'll save Kathy till the end, question and answer session if we need anything. But to move along, the information sheet. Our school hours are going to be the same here at Nord as we've been the last several years. It's going to be 7:45 to 2:45. And when we say 2:45, that's our ending time, but the time varies a little bit. We let our car riders and walkers go probably right around 2:38, and then our bus riders leave when all the buses arrive from the junior high. So it's usually not right at 2:45, might be between 2:45 and 2:50. But what we do is we let all the buses arrive. As soon as they're all here in place, then we release the students onto the buses. So the dismissal time, like I said, I do this in quotations just because it's within a 15-minute time frame, I guess is the best way to say that. The office staff. Obviously, I'm here, Corey's here, there are no other people here, but I just wanted to explain one thing. Your students could have a couple of different counselors. Our third and our fourth graders have our school counselor is Alma Bernard, who is currently at Amherst now, and the counselor there. And for anyone here who may have a fifth grader, the fifth grade counselor is going to be Joanne Carnagucci, who will follow those fifth graders all the way up until they get to high school. So when they move to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, Joanne will follow them and be their counselor the whole way up, which is kind of nice. Okay, lunch and breakfast. We do have breakfast here in the morning, so when students arrive, they do have the ability to come in the cafeteria and have breakfast if they wish. If not, they don't need to do that, but our lunch prices and breakfast prices are listed there for your information. Anything we don't discuss tonight, or if you leave here and have questions or are just anxious to get in here again, our open house, this is really important. We have 2 separate open houses for Nord next year. The reason for that is simply the number of people that we're going to have coming. Typically we do our open house on a Saturday morning, and we're going to keep that for our 5th graders. That's going to be from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Saturday right before school starts, which is the 19th. Saturday the 19th. The 3rd and 4th grade open house is going to be the following Monday from 5:30 to 6:30. And again, the reason we're doing that is just so to help ease the parking space and just the congestion of lots and lots of people in the building. Class lists. As we have every other year, class lists will get posted probably, we haven't decided the exact date, but it's usually a week before school starts in August. So look for those. We'll have them posted on the website and on the front windows of the school as well. Specialist classes. All 5th and 6th grade, I'm in current mode. All 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders are going to have the same specials with the exception of one. They're going to have art, phys ed, music, library, and technology or computer time. The difference between the 5th graders is the 5th graders are also going to have access during their music time. They will have a choice between taking vocal music, orchestra, or band. Right, so that's kind of that has not changed, but that will not be available for our 3rd and 4th graders until they reach that 5th grade level. Our 5th graders, they also go to camp. This is nothing new. But if you do have a fifth grader coming in again, something that was new this year is we changed camps. We used to go to Camp Mohican. Now we go to a place called Beulah Beach, which is right over, I don't even know what direction. Vermilion. Wherever Vermilion's at from here, which is really nice, very close. And you, like I said, if you do have a fifth grader or incoming fifth grader, you're going to start receiving that information probably later this week as far as that goes. But that's something to plan ahead for them. Arrival and dismissal. I did hand out, there's handouts back there for our arrival and dismissal process. If you have any questions with that, I can certainly address that at the end here, but I just wanted to make sure everybody got those. Regardless if your son or daughter rides the bus, or is dropped off, picked up, or walks, it's really important that you understand our procedures to help make them flow easily. We kind of had it down to a pretty good science lately. There's always little hiccups here and there. However, with this next group coming in this year, and we're adding a grade level, we are going to look to maybe revise our process a little bit, but we don't want to revise anything without really knowing what's going to happen. In other words, we don't want to fix something that doesn't need fixing. So we're going to sort of see how that goes, but I just want to know, or let you know the importance of following that if you decide to pick up your child, or your child walks, or something like that, or another relative or family member picks them up as well. The pickup and drop off is always in the back parking lot. Our front parking lot has to be reserved for our buses. We have a ton of buses coming into the front, so there's no room for drop off or pickup in the front. It will all be done in the back. Okay? All right, lockers. All of our students right now use lockers. However, next year, when we come in here next year, the third graders will not be using lockers for a couple reasons. One, we don't have enough for everybody. And two, it's awfully difficult for them to work the combinations and really get into the hang of it. They'll still have very similar things like they have now, locks, or I'm sorry, not locks, but books and cubbies or whatever they have currently at Harris. They'll have the same things in the classrooms here at Newark. The fourth graders, by the way, the fourth graders will be the lockers for them is going to be a little bit new. As you've probably seen, or if you haven't seen, you'll see when you walk out, the locks all have combinations. If we find students, especially the fourth graders, have difficulty using that, we can disable those, and we already have a plan in place to disable it if we need to, just to make it easier for the kids. But if they're able to do it, great. We're going to kind of see how it goes with the fourth graders. Supply lists, those will be, I believe, Mr. Sayers, I think we do supply lists, we approve those in May or June. So we will, as soon as they get approved by the Board of Education, we'll post those online and have those available for pickup. Because I know that's a big thing in the summer. It's the first thing my wife looks for since June starts. Okay, for the informational stuff, that is all I had for that. I do want to go over a couple other things, just kind of expectations that we have. But if you need to contact me or have a question for any of our office staff, I put email addresses down at the bottom of the sheet and also our main office phone number. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Let's be glad to help with that. The last thing I have is just to sort of go over some of the things that we stress or some of the things that we believe in at Newark. One of the most important things is we're here to help every child succeed. Every kid, every family, everyone is different. We try to take that approach. And that's one of my I guess, themes that I try to get across to the staff is treat people the right way and make sure we get to know these kids. Because that's the most important thing to me. And as we do that, we need your help also. And what I mean by that is we need parents and families to be involved in your students' education. We can't do it alone, and I know all of you guys know that. And to be honest, I'm probably preaching to the choir right now because you're obviously involved because you're here. One of the most important things is regular and consistent student attendance. What we find is students who struggle the most usually are the ones we're dealing with attendance issues. Please do your best, work with us. We all know different situations are unique, but if you really stress that importance with your kids, that's step one. It really is step one. Step two is stay involved with their education. Communicate with the teachers, communicate with me, check your students' grades. What else we got? Check Power School, that would be the grades. Check Power School, get involved in classroom activities. Like I said before, camp at Beulah Beach. It's a perfect example of a way you can get involved and chaperone and help out different class activities, parties, events.
Field day.
What else? Field day.
Bowling.
The PTO, all kinds of different bowling field trips. There's all kinds of different ways to get involved, and I know it's really hard for me to get in my own son's class, my daughter's classes, but I know that's important to the kids when they see their parents getting involved in things. And it makes things so much easier for everybody, you, us, and the community. When everyone gets involved, everyone has a role in our students' education. And one of the last things, the last thing I want to talk about is the other thing we stress is our character education, or PBIS, kind of the same thing, but we are big on character education. Each month, we highlight a different character trait of the month. It could be honesty, it could be respect, tolerance, perseverance, all kinds of different things. So each day, or I should say, at the beginning of each week, on Monday, we recite, either Corey or I will recite a quote of the week that has to deal with whatever character trait of the month it is. If it's respect, I'll give a little quote on respect and get a little story behind it. And then we keep driving that theme home each month in the classroom and out in the hallways. And at the end of each month, we highlight or we recognize one person in each homeroom who best exemplifies a character trait of whatever that month was. And to get, or if they get recognized for that, they get a t-shirt which is called our Point of Light t-shirt, which has, actually the students designed the t-shirt and it has all the character traits on it. It's a really neat thing. If you follow me on Twitter, I just tweeted one out the other day, a picture of all our kids that we recognized for that. It's a big thing. We still get kids that come back, and I shouldn't even say kids, some parents have even come back and told us, I still have my Point of Light shirt from 5th grade or 6th grade. I kid you not, a parent said that earlier in the year, which I was floored with, just because it's been going on that long. It just kind of shows the importance of what we do and what we're trying to send a message about. And along with that, our PBIS, another thing you may, if you have a child here at North this year, you've probably heard a lot about it. But if you look over on that wall there, it's kind of small right here, but there's a green, a red, yellow, white, and green sign. Those signs are all over the school, and they're there to drive messages or reinforce messages of respect, responsibility, and safety. We put them in different hot spots throughout the building and give little procedures and guidelines on what you should do in certain areas. For example, in the hallways, we walk on the right. It's a quiet zone. Restrooms, get in, get out, wash your hands, things like that. And then what we do is anytime we catch a student doing things properly or doing things the right way, we give them beads, and they're color-coded beads. I know the color again before I messed up. Yellow beads, white beads, green beads. And as we do that, they make their own lanyards, and they get to put a bead on if we recognized Corey for something with respect. She would get a cool green bead and get to wear that bead and show off throughout the day. And as the kids walk through the hallways, we'll see them with their lanyard on and their bead, and we call them out and say, hey, what'd you get that bead for? And it just kind of, you see the kids smile a little bit. And it's a neat thing. I know it took off like gangbusters earlier in the year. We're not quite sure how it's still going now, but we still think it's been a pretty positive program that we've been doing. And then these 20 beads, 30 beads, 40 beads up here, that relates directly to what I was just talking about. These are kids who, if they attain 20 beads or 30 beads, they get to put their name on a star, get highlighted up there, and it's kind of a neat thing. And we put them in the drawing, have lunch with the principal, or get a t-shirt, or any other number of good things. So that's sort of the theme that, like I said, the thing that we kind of promote and really stress as we go throughout the year while you're here at Nord. And as we move the second and third graders over, nothing's going to change. We're going to try to adopt I shouldn't say all, but we're going to try to adopt as much of what is already going on in Harris as we can here. We're just going to blend the two schools and take the best of both worlds and hopefully make things better for everybody while they're here. So I know there's a lot of anxiousness, at least I'm assuming there's a lot of anxiousness, but I just want to let everybody know your kids are in good hands. we're gonna do the right thing for them, or we're gonna help them make this transition as easy as possible and help you. And think of it this way, we're all in the same boat. It's a transition for parents, it's a transition for us too. I have a little anxiousness myself. All right? That is all I have for my presentation. So at this point, I just want to open up for questions and answers, and I'll let you guys guide the rest from here. Yes?
When is the first day of school?
23rd, right? I believe it's August 23rd, Wednesday. Yep. I'll be off guard on that one. All right. Anything else? Yes? We will have Comic Kids. I don't know the details of it yet. I don't know starting times, this and that. Comic Kids, those of you that don't know, Comic Kids is the daycare before and after school. So we will have that here at Nord. I just don't have details on times or pricing and all that kind of stuff right now. Okay. Think good. Same question? Okay.
Bill?
Yes.
I'd just like, I don't need a microphone, I'm very loud. My name's Kathy Gale, I head the Transportation Department, and I would just like to reassure everyone that we are cleaning the routes up. I'm adding on 2 extra routes because some of the routes, as you know, are kind of crowded. So what we're doing is an overflow route that'll be kind of like inner town that will take the abundance of children off. So that's going to lessen the crowding on the buses. To reassure you about the kindergarten through 8 on a bus, it's already happening here in the district. Our St. Joseph students, they have to ride the first bus because St. Joe's starts just like AJ and North. So it's already happening. Our drivers are really diligent about putting the littler children to the front and making the older ones to the back. If there's brothers and sisters that want to sit together and they're older, what we do is we try to accommodate that by putting them in the middle. I fell in love with that bead idea, and I thought maybe I would talk to you, the 2 of you, about incorporating that into the school bus behavior, and we could set notes. I thought that was a very positive thing.
That's part of stage 2 of our big guys.
Oh,
I'm going to give your bus drivers money.
yeah. Okay, there you go. But I just wanted to assure you that the routes will be posted. And also, if there's any of you parents out there that are interested in becoming a school bus driver, come and see me, because we need drivers and we'd love to have you. Seeing the moms and dads out there is a great asset to us. Any questions on transportation?
I just wanted to clarify, just that, so we have 2 routes, just like we currently have. And the first route, Amherst Junior High and Nord, will be grades 3 through 8.
3 through 8, yes.
The first route will be grades 3 through 8. And then the second route will be
K
the Powers
through 2.
route, will be K through 2 on that. So we'll continue to have 2 routes,
Exactly.
3 through 8 on the first run, and then K through 2 on the second or Powers run.
Right, I mentioned that there'd be K through 8 on the buses already. That's because we do have the St. Joe's, and that will continue that way. But our K through 2 will be on the second run. Times will be very close to what they are now. The overflow buses, what I'll try to do is keep them as close to possible as the times now, lessen the children driving. Again, you want to be a bus driver. We'd love to have you. If you don't have a CDL, not a problem. We'll help you get there. Pardon me? You come see me tomorrow morning. Right down in the bus garage. I'll open the door and you come in. We'd love to have you.
Thanks, Kathy. And another thing too is we're well aware of that concern too with the wide, I guess, grade level span there. Corey and I and the principals at the junior high, we will be on top of this, on top of bus behavior, some type of bus incidents or anything like that. We'll be a lot more diligent and, like I said, on top of things, just knowing that that's going to be a concern. I like to relate that to one thing. 2 years ago, there was a huge concern when we brought preschool over to Nord. As a matter of fact, we had concerns within our own building with certain teachers and staff in the building, wondering how we're going to be able to mix 3 and 4-year-olds with 10 and 11 and 12-year-olds. I got to tell you, I never worried about it. I know a lot of other people did, but as soon as they came over here, I think it made our kids more, what's right, better behaved. I was gonna say more better, that doesn't sound very good. But I think it improved our kids' behavior here in Nord, and I gotta tell you what, I'm gonna hate to see them go, because I love having them in the building. So if that helps, I guess, ease your anxiousness at all too, just know that we had that same concern a couple of years ago, and it worked out great. Yeah.
I just want to comment as a preschool parent here now. Those preschoolers were rock stars for those those 5th and 6th graders when they went through the hallways for Halloween. Oh my gosh, rock stars.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. It was. And we thought it was neat. I don't know how our kids thought about it, but we liked it.
I
Made
love
our
that day,
day.
it's my favorite day.
Any other questions? And if you're not, if you'd like to just ask me a question or one of us a question afterwards in private, we'll certainly be here to answer any other questions, but I just want to make sure we give everyone an opportunity to ask something while we're all here. Nothing else? All right, great. Like I said, we'll be here. Feel free to stop up and talk to us. I want to thank everybody again for coming. Hopefully this helps a little bit, but again, if you have any other questions after you leave, just feel free to contact us at any point.
Oh, Bill, transportation's number was not on there. If you'd like, 988-1474, that's my direct line.
988-1474.
You can see me tomorrow.
All right, thank